It was a dark and stormy night. Imagine like a thunderclap sound effect here. Okay. Your favorite podcast hosts, Jess and Hannah, were recording the first episode of the Badly Annotated Spooky Season Extravaganza when suddenly the ghost that inhabits Jess's laptop invoked the ancient curse of Spookius Seasonius to corrupt Jess's audio file, rendering the recording completely unusable. The two women were overtaken with shock and dismay, falling upon their fainting couches, corsets imploding. All was lost. Until suddenly, Hannah was struck with the most madly genius scheme to switch out the cursed and corrupted recording with the recording of the next episode before the listeners ever noticed. The ghost in Jess's laptop was strong, but Hannah proved stronger. Legend has it that to this day, when you open Jess's laptop at the start of spooky season, you can still hear the distant cries of defeat from the spirit of the computer ghost, their curse forever foiled. For now. I'm just kidding. Enjoy our episode 10 recording for episode 9, as in true spooky fashion, the original audio was cursed. Happy listening.
Badly annotated.
Well, that, ladies and gents and non-binary friends, is what happens when we put Jess in charge of the opening song.
You know what? It's spooky season. I had okay. It was
you killed it. That was great. It was better than me beatboxing a few weeks ago.
Well, here we are. Episode 10, spooky season, spooky cinema edition of a new, hopefully, series someday. A handful of genre episodes. If you like this, then try that. Spooky cinema. So we have a.
You want to introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm Jess. Sorry, guys.
I'm Hannah.
I forgot. I got.
You should know us by now. But if you don't, I'm Hannah. That's Jess.
Yeah.
Anyways,
both scatterbrained. It's fine.
Yeah.
So this week we have pulled together a selection of classic scary movies, Halloween movies, spooky movies, the works, and each of us have picked a book that we think if you like this movie, maybe you like this book, and we're here to battle it out till there's blood. Not really, because we live in different provinces.
Oh, that's why there's no blood, because we live in different provinces? Yeah. But if you were next to me, though, there would be. Is that what you're saying?
I think there could be. I'm not ruling it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What a lovely start we've had here.
Yeah. How are you?
I am good. School's going well. Work is going well. I've been given some extra shifts finally, which is nice. More money. Yay.
Cool.
And I'm just like doing my school stuff, doing the podcast stuff.
She's vibing and thriving.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know me, I did the other night, in the middle of the night, have like a random halfway manic boost of energy.
Oh my god, it was the best thing ever.
Of creative energy, and I planned the podcast through to next April.
Exactly. We've got plans.
We
are so excited.
Middle of the night Hannah is a genius.
Oh my god, I love her. I love her so much. She is where all of your executive function goes.
True. I save it up.
Yeah.
And then once a month.
And then it just like bursts out all at once.
Yeah, once a month on the full moon.
Yeah.
then it all comes out and I actually get something done.
Oh my god. Yeah, you got so much in there. That was great. I'm so hyped, pumped.
Yep. Yeah, you're really piped.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, wow. So yeah, I'm doing well, to
That's
say
good.
the least. I'm doing better.
Yay.
I was in a bit of a funk. I'm coming out of it.
Oh,
So
we love it.
how are you?
I am also doing well. I am in my midterms right now. I've got like a few weeks of midterms because some of my classes are 11 weeks and some of them are 15. So the middle is in different spots. So it's really just 3 weeks of midterms.
I mean, that's kind of better than it being all at once.
Yeah, and like they're all going fine. I had 2 hours
Yeah.
to do one today and I took 11 minutes.
She's a genius, you guys.
Yeah, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, we have yet to find out, but I think it went fine. So
I'm sure you killed it.
yeah.
I'm sure
yeah,
you killed it.
It was fine. And yeah, I hugged a puppy the other day. That was great.
Oh, yes. Love that.
Yeah, his name was Alfie. So yeah, good week.
Alfie. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we've got the energy.
We
back.
really do. We really do. We're bringing it.
Like, I think it was episode 8
8,
that I was
yeah.
editing. Yeah, the most recent episode. I'm editing and I'm like, oh my God, we sound so brain dead. Like, that was like so bad. But we're back.
We're
guys.
back.
We've got a second wind.
Woo.
It's the spooky season energy.
Yes.
Episode 1 of spooky season.
Yep, the leaves are crunchy, and so I'm happy.
So yeah, let's just get right into it with our books and movies. So yeah, again, I'll state the movie, and then we'll each present our like book that we chose that kind of goes with the vibes of the movie. Like if you like that movie, then this is the book we'd recommend. And then between the two of us, we're going to decide which one of us chose a better one, because competition is fun. I think. I don't know. I'm an only child. I'm not competitive.
Like, okay, all my children, all my siblings are children. So I never really got the competitive aspect of sisterhood, but
well, now here I am. Obviously, you can take whatever recommendations you want, but we thought this would be a fun little Team Goblin versus Team Nymph.
yeah. And if it's not clear, Hannah is Goblin.
Yes.
I am Nymph.
Yeah.
So do it.
Yeah,
that
if it
way
wasn't
you
clear
will.
from my Instagram, the Friendly Library Goblin,
Yeah,
that's me.
exactly.
And everyone in my life has been like, no, I kind of like the same books as Jess. Like, I think I'm Team Nymph. I'm like, guys, I feel so betrayed. And then all of a sudden, London, Jess's little sister, I find out is Team Goblin. I'm like, yeah, we got one, guys.
Oh,
we got one.
a
romantic-y loving girly.
Anywho,
if you get to the end of us talking about a book and like don't remember what book we're talking about, or like you lose track between all the movies and everything, that's okay. I'm gonna put all of the movies and their corresponding books in the description of the podcast episode, and then we are also going to restate them all at the end, so don't fret about that. So without further ado, had to add a little pizzazz.
Wow.
The first movie on our list is Beetlejuice.
Not the new one.
I was gonna say the original
one.
the original one, to be clear.
Yeah.
And so my pick for that, I'm gonna give you the title and the author and a short description, and then I'm gonna tell you why I picked it.
Okay, great.
Okay? Cool. So I chose The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket, like from the series of unfortunate events. So the description I have is 3 children, Violet, Klaus, and Sunny Baudelaire, are intelligent and likable from a wealthy family, but they are also exceptionally unlucky, as they are orphaned and forced to go live with a creepy uncle, sending them headfirst into a sinister plot to ruin their lives and steal their fortune.
Great.
Yeah, that's how the series of unfortunate events begins. And I chose it because it has that same sort of like ick weird factor going on. Like the weird uncle gives me the same vibe, like the skin crawly vibe that Beetlejuice does, and the whole like trying to like force someone to marry you and things like that, that whole plot, it's reminiscent.
Wow.
So that was my pick.
Yeah, that was pretty head on the nail. Oof.
Nail on the head, you mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do mean.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you do mean.
I
Yeah,
do mean.
you got you. Got you.
Okay, so.
All right, so what's your pick for Beetlejuice?
My pick is The Lies Among Us by Sarah Beth Durst. And this is like a magical realism where people's lives are like living and walking. Like you can't see them, but they're in like their own little world, just like left of our reality. Like they're here, they can see us, we can't see them. So personified lies. And the story follows the main character who was alive, and then her mother lied about her surviving because of her grief. And so she's basically a ghost and discovers these like undead parties because you know what rich people lie about? Going to crazy parties. And those are the vibes that reminded me of just like Beetlejuice's energy, so to speak.
Yeah, the like chaotic,
Yeah.
you're in a dream, let me take you through like a million
Exactly.
different...
Yeah. So I
Okay.
kind of took a different approach to this movie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my pick. The Lies Among Us by Sarah
Cool.
Beth.
Yeah, the approach I had was like,
I think yours is more spot on, to be honest.
weird uncle trying to like there's a marriage plot going on, and there's like he's like scheming to try to like get their fortune from them, and like that gave me strong Beetlejuice vibes. Also, I'm pretty sure on the cover of The Bad Beginning, the weird uncle is wearing striped pants.
Yeah.
so it just made me think Beetlejuice immediately.
Well, this is a strong contender we have here, ladies and gentlemen. Point Goblin.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks. Lovely start for me.
Great.
That's where it ends because the rest I was struggling. I won't lie to you.
This was a hard one for homework.
To plan, because because I track all my reading, so I'm literally scrolling through Storygraph through all of the like 278 books I've read in the last 3 years. Like what matches? Yeah. But yeah, The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket. Nice. I actually kind of ate with that one, I will admit.
You really did. You really did. That was a strong start.
Yeah. Okay, Point Goblin. All right, the next movie on our list is Hocus Pocus, Halloween classic. I'm sure we've all seen it. If you haven't, watch it immediately. It's spooky season. What are you doing?
I've seen it exactly one time. It was last year.
I've at least seen it a few times in my life, I'm sure. Anyways, Hocus Pocus.
I picked VenCo by Cherie Dimaline.
Oh, the readathon!
Which is also part of the readathon. So it gives us a chance to check in on that. How's VenCo going?
I'm 10 pages in and having a hard time continuing.
Woo!
If I'm being real, honestly, I just think it's like...
Yeah.
It's just slow.
I have finished it and can confirm that it was slow. I read it on Word Runner, which if you have not discovered on Kindle, check it out. It's a game changer for speed reading, 1. 2, if a book is like really slow, but like it's good enough that you want to finish it, but like it's just really difficult, great option. And 3, scary books in the dark on Word Runner hit different.
True.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to try that. I started using Word Runner today just to see.
Yeah. I have mine set to like 225 words per minute, but yeah, it's definitely heightened my experience reading Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell, which is my current read for the readathon. So yeah, definitely recommend.
Got you through VenCo.
Yes. So VenCo is an organization of witches, and these witches, their calling card is a souvenir spoon from Salem, Massachusetts. And so they're trying to finish forming their coven. And so they're looking for this last spoon that they need on this time limit. And so chaos ensues. There's a fabulous grandmother etc., etc. And so, as I said, I've seen Hocus Pocus exactly one time, and I've read this book exactly one time.
Wow,
So
the parallels are unmatched.
I know. So my frame of reference is not huge on this one, but I picked it because of the focus around like their little coven, like with the 3 of them in Hocus Pocus, and then the 7 of them in VenCo, and just like the sisterhood within it, the connections within it, because that's really what it's all about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Similar vibes.
Yeah.
I feel like so far you're going for vibes and I'm going for like plot.
Yeah. I base everything off of vibes.
True. True.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a good one. That's a strong, yeah, because that one's like very witch focused.
Yeah, exactly.
And the witchy vibes are there.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I picked for Hocus Pocus, I picked Stardust by Neil Gaiman.
Oh.
The description I wrote was, a star falls to Earth in the form of a beautiful woman, and a boy named Tristan goes to fetch the fallen star for the girl he hopes will be his sweetheart, only to find himself in a deadly race for the star with 3 old and powerful witches who believe that if they can capture the star and eat her heart, they will be granted eternal youth and beauty.
That's pretty good too.
Yeah, because like the witches are not,
and there's
like
3.
you're following this boy, like the witches are not the main like people you're following, so that's why I was kind of like, but there's the 3 witches and they're like trying to like,
the number is
be young
right.
and beautiful forever and powerful, and it is 3 witches. I don't know that they're sisters though, but so that's like the most vibes the closest I could get, because I haven't actually read that many witchy books, which is probably shocking to hear.
We're just
from
really
me.
going into it this year.
Yeah, we're really just getting into the witchy books. But Stardust, yeah, I love Stardust the movie also.
Oh, I feel like I've heard of that.
Yeah, Stardust the movie is one of my top 5 favorite films of all time.
Oh,
so I think it's number 3.
Damn,
on my list.
Okay,
so the first 2 being Back to the Future and the original Ghostbusters.
Fair.
And then Stardust, and then Jaws, and then the Terminator. Anyways, for Hocus Pocus, I've only
Stardust. Seen 2 of those.
You haven't seen anything, Jess.
I know. It's a problem. I'm very movie illiterate, and
I'm sure Jared hates that.
Yeah, he is the biggest film guy maybe ever.
Yeah.
He's seen literally everything. So it's really fun picking movie in my house.
Yeah. So yeah, for Hocus Pocus, I chose Stardust because of the 3 witches, they're trying to, because I think in Hocus Pocus they're trying to get power.
I think so.
Yeah, this one they're trying to get eternal youth and beauty, which is similar. They have to go and track down this thing, they're trying, because for Hocus Pocus they were trying to get the souls of children in order to get this power, and these witches are trying to track down this young woman, and eat her heart so that they can have eternal youth and beauty.
You know what? You're really selling me.
It's a lot darker than Hocus Pocus though. It doesn't have the same vibe. It's just there's similarities in that way. And we also follow Tristan, which I guess we do follow a young boy in Hocus Pocus
I think
too.
Yours checks more boxes than mine does.
Yeah, but it's just different vibes. That's all.
That's true.
Because there's the 3 main witches in VenCo. The maiden, the mother,
the maiden, the mother, and the crone.
Yeah,
there are those 2. Yeah, 0.5. We'll split it.
We'll split it 0.5. Okay.
Yeah,
because I feel like VenCo has the same sort of vibes as the tongue-in-cheek real world.
Yeah. It kind of does.
Okay.
So
okay,
we'll
0.5 each. We're being way too nice.
Yeah, I am keeping track, by the way.
Okay, cool. So I've got 1.5 and you've got 0.5.
Yeah.
That was the first movie is Beetlejuice. This one's Hocus Pocus, and I was just talking about Stardust by Neil Gaiman.
And VenCo by Cherie Dimaline.
So those are our Hocus Pocus movies. And then the next movie that we have picked is The Shining a classic.
Yes.
If you've not seen it, again, go watch it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not your thing, even if like you don't think it's the best movie ever,
movie
like
history.
it's still you have to see The Shining.
Even I've seen The Shining.
Yeah, if Jess has seen it and you haven't,
There's something
girl,
going on.
what are you doing?
Yeah. They like actually like psychologically tortured that actress in the filming of it
Really?
too. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, she got messed up from it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so take that
Damn.
into account.
Okay, well then that might go with my book even more then.
Great.
Well, okay, I was gonna like tongue in cheek be like, oh, the book I picked for The Shining is The Shining.
Oh,
by Stephen King.
Shut the fuck up. I didn't even consider that.
I did consider it, but then I knew that you wouldn't accept it, so I came up with a backup
Good.
as well.
Good. Hear that? She's trying to cheat.
It would have been perfect.
It would have been.
I would have had to have given it to me.
I would have.
But I knew, to be fair, I had to pick a different one.
Wow.
So
can you imagine if we had both picked The Shining?
That would have been crazy.
That would have been. Unfortunately, you're cleverer than I.
Anyways, so my book for The Shining, if you like The Shining, then you might want to try A Cry in the Night by Mary Higgins Clark. So the description is, while working in a New York art gallery, Jenny McPartland meets wealthy and successful painter Eric Kruger, who turns out to be not only the man of her dreams, but also very much in love with her. What starts as a whirlwind romance and quick marriage turns out to be a series of lonely days and eerie nights on his secluded and vast farm estate, where she slowly starts to question her own sanity and Eric's.
Ooh.
Yeah, spooky ooky. I was thinking like artist in secluded place with unsuspecting wife. Mm-hmm. Who is like just stuck there with this guy who's like getting increasingly more insane in this like weird ass house, and a bunch of weird shit starts happening all around the house, and she's kind of dumb, honestly. She makes some bad choices. but like, I don't know, the vibes were there, the like psychological aspect of it. Loved it a lot for that.
Well, I went a very similar way for once.
Oh my God, we actually did something similar.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy, actually. I was listening to that and I was just like, ooh, I have no idea who's going to get this. Because we read the same book in a different font.
Yeah. Okay, tell me, what's yours?
So mine is Unmissing by Minka Kent. And the concept is, so this couple, they have the perfect marriage, perfect life. They have a beautiful house backing a forest in this quaint town. And then one night, his dead ex-wife shows up at the door.
Oh, okay.
She's not dead, though. She is alive. She was presumed dead.
Okay.
And so there she is. And where did she come from? This was 10 years ago. What the fuck happened in 10 years? Like, he is fully moved on and remarried. Okay. So the story just kind of like follows that drama about like, why is she there? And like, what's going on? This is where I do get a little bit spoilery. Fair warning. We start to learn that the person who kidnapped the wife might be a little in the family.
Oh my God.
And so what's going on with him psychologically? What's going on with his current wife psychologically? And like, what is the motive of the wife coming back? So that psychological aspect is why I picked that.
The psychological like wife and like weird guy.
Yeah. Everyone is just like, you don't know what anyone's motives are, and they could all be very dangerous.
I feel like that's more psychological than what I have going on, so I would say to give you the point, because I had, again, like the wife, like secluded artist wife situation, but like it's honestly just really bizarre. Like there's not even a lot of like,
this is very much like the people going after each other. And
yeah,
like I'm just imagining
well, then
like
The Shining,
with the door and the axe
yeah,
and
and
her
like the red
screaming.
rum situation.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, for sure you get the point, because there is no such thing in this book. But I do still recommend A Cry in the Night if you
it sounds interesting. I might read it
if you like The Shining. Yeah, you honestly would probably like it a lot more than I did.
probably.
Like I liked it well
It
enough.
sounds like my
It's just
style.
Yeah, Mary Higgins Clark is known colloquially as the Queen of Suspense.
That was a beautiful pronunciation of that word.
Colloquially?
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, Mary Higgins Clark is like the Queen of Suspense. Like, have you ever read anything by her?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, she was after Agatha Christie, but still like an older
author.
Okay.
But like that kind of
I think she might have passed away now, actually. But she has like a million books in her catalog.
Like I definitely recognize the name.
Yeah. So that's her for The Shining. That's why I thought. But yeah, it's not like slasher. It's just like weird guy, psychological, a bunch of weird stuff happening, kind of a thing. So yeah, I'll give you that.
Sweet.
The stakes aren't as good.
We are tied now.
We are tied
1.5 to 1.5.
Yeah. Also, like we so far have, I'm going to tell you the next movie in a second. I'm going to give you a short description for this movie because I feel like Beetlejuice, Hocus Pocus, The Shining, like those are classics that like.
Yeah, they're a little more well known than this one is.
Yeah. So the next one is The Woman in Black, which is a horror movie. It's got Daniel Radcliffe in it.
Yeah, the Harry Potter man.
What is he, a writer in this?
I think he's like a journalist or something like that.
Yeah, like he's a journalist and he goes to this small town.
Yeah.
On like an island.
It's like classic spooky rainy island.
Yeah, exactly. And he goes there because there's this weird phenomenon going on where like all of the like there's a whole bunch of children in the town who are like committing these like really insane arson and things like that are like some kind of crime and then a suicide. So like major trigger warnings for that. I mean, it's not super graphic, but it's like it is there.
It's insinuating.
Yeah, and so this journalist is going there to like follow a story about this weird town, and he stays in this like abandoned manor like out from the island that has a land bridge to it that like when the tide is in you actually can't get out of the house.
Yeah.
Like you can't get off the property. And so it's just like spooky vibes. There's some jump scares. Yeah, a classic horror movie. Yeah. And it's one of my favorites. It's the first horror movie I ever saw actually in my 9th grade English class.
I think it was one of my first as well.
It's a good one. It's a really good movie.
It
like
is.
if you're into horror movies, absolutely 100% recommend. Because it's also because like it's not just jump scares and like shock value for the sake of it. There's like actually a plot and a backstory and like a whole mystery that unfolds.
Yeah. And
so I really appreciate it for that. So, want to tell me your book?
Yes, I do. So if you like The Woman in Black, I would recommend Hidden Pictures by Jason Recolleck. Hidden Pictures, it's about this girl who gets a job basically nannying this kid, but the kid draws some freaky pictures and they slowly get more and more realistic. And the pictures are of what his parents describe as his imaginary friend, but he insists that he knows that this friend isn't real and he's not talking to that anymore. Like, it's just weird. So he's drawing pictures of this like woman, and the pictures just get more and more disturbed. So first she's just like standing in the forest, and then she's like being choked and she's being dragged through dirt, and she's in a hole and she has wings. So it tells a story.
Creepy kid. I hate creepy kids. Okay.
And so it follows the nanny basically just like getting more and more freaked out by these drawings and like bringing her concerns to the parents, and the parents are dismissing her. And there's like a underlying story that slowly unfolds as you get further into it and dig deeper. And like, it's absolutely phenomenal. but it gave me the exact same feeling as the Woman in Black, of that,
Yeah.
like, there's what's on the surface, and then there's definitely something underneath.
Yeah, and then like I'm imagining the scenes where like Daniel Radcliffe's character is just like sifting through all these like papers, documents, newspapers, photos, everything, like trying to piece together what's going on.
Like she lives in a house like out back, like a little like shed that was like converted to like a living area. That sounds like shit. It's actually a really nice little cute little hut, whatever it is. And like at one point she like went into her little thing and like there was like these drawings on her bed. The door was like locked and it's just like in there and it's like, what?
Like the main characters?
Yeah. She lives there. Just like in the separate.
Oh, so the drawings just pop up there?
It did once.
Ew. See, I think there's a scene like that.
Yeah.
In The Woman in Black. Okay, so you actually killed it.
I tried really hard on that one. I felt good.
Yeah. So that was Hidden Pictures.
Yeah, Hidden Pictures by Jason Recollect.
Cool. Okay, now I'm like intimidated.
That's how I felt after Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Beetlejuice. Listen, the first three I had like on lock, and then after this it gets a little bit questionable. So, my pick for The Woman in Black was The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Now, I don't know if you've ever read anything by Grady Hendrix, but Grady Hendrix was made for you.
Oh.
It's actually kind of shocking that I read this book, and I read it at Christmas time. I'm like going around doing my Christmas shopping, listening to it on audio as like there's these gruesome murders happening in the book. Yeah. So the description is: lonely and unfulfilled housewife Patricia Campbell's only thing to look forward to is the true crime and mystery book club she shares with a close-knit group of other women. That is, until a charming and well-read stranger named James Harris moves to town and joins the book club, making Patricia feel things she hasn't in decades. However, there is something off about James, and shortly after his arrival, children from the town start to go missing. The women can't help but suspect that the odd James Harris might be involved, except nobody believes them, so Patricia takes matters into her own hands. So I picked that because it's got the same, like, kids going missing, kids disappearing. There's, like, some kind of a plot going on. Mm-hmm. One of the, like, weird things about James Harris that's, like, a selling point for, like, the book, like, it's in a lot of, like, descriptions and stuff about it, is that the main character, Patricia, her grandmother recognizes James and swears that she knew him when she was a child.
Oh.
But he looks exactly the same now.
Uh-huh.
So he's just like there's all these, he never goes out during the day. Like, it's like,
just some weird stuff going on.
Yeah, exactly. And then, kids start going missing. And so and Patricia like goes to her husband and is like, hey, all this weird stuff's going on. He's like, ta-ta, don't worry about it, silly woman. And so her and her book club just take it upon themselves to save the town and the town's children.
Nice.
Which is a little bit more crusadery and a little bit less like mystery solving. It's more so just like, we have to protect our kids because no one's listening.
I feel like that was a pretty strong option.
Yeah, but yours is for sure better.
This was the one I was most excited about, to be honest.
Yeah, no, you killed that. That was great.
Okay.
That was great. Point Nymph. That's an easy decision. Give it straight to you. So yeah, that's Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I think you should read it. I think you'd like it.
Yeah.
It's your special kind of weird and messed up.
Nice.
And gory. There's a lot of body horror in that book.
I love body horror. It's my favorite kind of horror.
That's why I say that Grady Hendrix was made for you, because their other books are My Best Friend's Exorcism.
Oh, word.
It's also Grady Hendrix. And The Final Girl Support Group. So it's like all the final girls from horror movies have this support group but then suddenly all the final girls start dying.
Oh, that sounds like How to Get Eaten, which is like a support group for fairy tale survivors.
Oh, yeah. So like that's Grady Hendrix. It's all kind of weird. It's all kind of like spooky. So nice. Yeah. Anyways, that was my pick, but yours was definitely the better one there. for the Woman in Black for sure. So the next movie we have is Halloween Town, which for anyone around our age, I'm 23. We're both 23. We're both 23. I forgot you're older than me a little bit,
Just
so I
a
got
little.
tripped up there. I was like, are
Only
you
a couple
24
months.
yet?
Not yet.
So like anyone born like 97 to like 05.
Yeah.
That range.
You grew up
probably
with this.
You grew up watching Halloween Town. Like it was like a Family Channel spooky season classic.
Yeah.
And I still watch it every year. I don't really watch the second, like the sequels as much, but like the original, the first Halloween Town every single year. So, yeah, that's Halloween Town. So for those who might not know, if you weren't a child at this time or didn't have children in those years, Halloween Town is basically about, we follow these three siblings. I forget all of their names. The main character's name is Marnie. And they love Halloween, but their mom like swears off Halloween. She's like, nope, I don't want anything to do with Halloween. You're not going trick-or-treating. You're not dressing up. We're not decorating. There's nothing. There's no Halloween. Until one year, their grandma comes to town on Halloween and brings them candy and everything, and like it lets them decorate and dress up for Halloween. And then Marnie overhears her mom and her grandma having a fight after they go to bed about keeping Halloween away from the kids, like away from witchcraft and all of that. And the grandmother is like, why? Marnie's the right age. She should already be dealing in magic and whatever. And so Marnie overhears this and freaks out and follows her grandma home to where her grandma is transported to Halloween Town, where it's Halloween all the time. And a whole bunch of different creatures and monsters live there. And it's always Halloween, except it's under attack by someone who's like trying to basically suck the life out of Halloween Town. And so it's up to Marnie to save her grandma and Halloween Town.
Wow.
So yeah, that's Halloween Town. It's like a kids movie. It's like cozy vibes, the nostalgia for me personally. So for Halloween Town, I chose Swamp Spook by Jenna De Leon, which is one of the books in the Misfortune Mystery series that I talk about constantly. Because after, I think, book 7, you no longer have to read them in order. You can just read them however you want. So, Swamp Spook. The description is: in the small town of Sinful, Louisiana, Halloween is kind of a big deal. And when it comes time for the Halloween festival, new resident Fortune Redding is happy to join in, playing the part of the executioner in the town's Halloween maze. Everybody's having fun. They're having a fun, spooky time until Fortune takes a short break from playing the part in her scene in the maze and comes back to find that the body in her scene is not a prop, but a real corpse. And she is the prime suspect. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It has like the small town Halloween festival vibes.
Yeah.
And like they're trying to solve a mystery and a murder. And so that's my pick for Halloween Town. It's pretty simple. It's cute. It's easy to read, easy to get through. It's like a cozy mystery. So
yeah, I already knew you were gonna win this one. Because I don't do cozy when it comes to spooky. I go the exact opposite direction, which is definitely what I did here.
Okay, what'd you pick?
I picked Vicious by V.E. Schwab.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Because I couldn't find anything cozy. And so I went, okay, we'll go for the same vibes, but ramped up to 47.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So Vicious is basically superheroes exist. We're going to pretend superheroes is replaced with the words wizards. I don't know. Basically, okay. Some people can have powers. And yeah, so when you think about it as just like powers, it makes it a little more corresponding.
Yeah. Not superheroes. No.
Do they have powers?
Yeah.
And so The way that people acquire these powers is by going through a near-death experience. And not just any near-death experience, but they have to, like, their heart has to have stopped and been resuscitated. And so all of these people that have gone through this, their abilities sort of align with how they died and or what they were thinking when they died. And so the main characters, it's Victor and I want to say Eli.
Okay.
I think it's Eli. We're just going to call him Eli.
Okay.
I'm like 90%. So Eli's power is like regenerating. So it doesn't like affect other people whatsoever. Whereas Victor's is dealing with pain. So he can take pain, he can give pain. And so Eli just basically develops this God complex because, you know, he was blessed with his gift, but everyone else is dangerous. And so he just decides that all of the other people with powers should not live. And so Victor gets this like ragtag group of misfits and they go and fight Eli. But it's a lot more gruesome than that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely correct where it's like Halloween Town but ramped up to 47. Because that's exactly what Marnie does.
Yeah.
Gets this ragtag team of random like weird monsters in Halloween Town to take down this like big bad guy who's trying to take over everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just like
you see where
version.
the connections.
Yeah. I'm actually a little convinced that that's better than mine.
Really?
Because mine has the correct vibes.
It does.
Small town,
yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah.
But like Halloween Town is not a murder mystery. It's like a trying to stop
a big bad.
This like yeah.
Wow.
So I feel like you should have that.
Wow. All right. I'll take it.
Because that just matches more to like what Halloween Town is all about. It's about like coming together to like protect your community of people.
You know Halloween Town better than I do by a considerable amount. So
yeah. No, thematically
I appreciate
yours is the best option.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought that was a lot more of a stretch.
No, it wasn't at all. Because that's entirely the whole point of Halloween Town is like coming together
Team
and
Nymph.
being yourself.
Yeah, and just like accepting it. Like there's Victor who can like take pain. His best friend is like this massive fucking man that he met in prison. And then they pick up this like child along the way and she can revive dead things. And she finds a dog and she brings him back to life and then he just tags along too because she wants him to.
Oh,
yeah, it's really cute.
See, okay, yeah, that's like very Halloween Town.
Okay,
and like accepting you're weird and coming together to protect like your community. I think that's I think that's a good one.
Oh, thank you.
That's a good one. If ever anyone has wanted Halloween Town but darker, Vicious by V.E. Schwab.
Yeah.
Nice. It also has nothing to do with Halloween, Vicious, but it's the same like theme.
It gives you the vibes.
Yeah, and it's spooky.
Yeah, the cover is red. It's got skulls on it. I would read that in October.
Yeah. Fair. All you need to know, enough said. Yeah. So, wow. Okay. So what are the scores? Tell me the scores. We've got 2 left. What are we at?
We have 2 left. Right now, Team Goblin is at 1.5. And Team Nymph is at 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
So you can tie this.
Yeah, I can. Okay, so the next movie is The Conjuring, which is another classic horror movie. I feel like that's another one where like people probably know. Yeah, it's The Conjuring.
Everyone's at least heard of it.
Ghosts, demons, possession.
Yeah.
They're trying to exorcise. This family moves into this super haunted house. Yeah. Family moves into the super haunted house. The dog won't go anywhere near it.
Etc., etc.
Yeah. And then, possessions and weird stuff starts happening. And so they have to like fight against these supernatural forces.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so give me your book.
So my book is Grief Cottage by Gail Godwin. And so that one, there's a young boy. I believe his family just moved to this like beachside small town. Like not pretty beachside small town, like rinky dink. Okay. And so down the beach, like there's like a peninsula of beach, and at the end there is this cottage that is like decrepit. And the story goes that there was a family that lived there, and then there was a tornado, and it tore the house, like the front side off the house. And the child was out at that time, and the parents left to go find him. And basically, the whole family went missing and were never found. And so this boy moves to the peninsula, and of course, the decrepit cottage that has like police tape around its fence because it's a safety hazard. He gets obsessed with it. It's his favorite place to go. And then he eventually starts seeing a figure of a boy on the porch looking at him. And
ew, what is with you and these creepy children?
Good question. Yeah.
Continue.
And so, yeah, basically he sees this ghost and he just like gets into that. Yeah.
It's all up in there.
Yeah. And yeah, he like figures out what happened to like the boy and his family. So yeah, just like this weird supernatural entity and just like the ghostly presence and vibes is why I chose that one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine is Ninth House by Lee Bardugo. And I wrote the description: Galaxy, or Alex Stern, is pulled from her life of shady drug dealer boyfriends and dead-end jobs after she becomes the sole survivor of a gruesome multiple homicide. She is sent by mysterious benefactors to attend Yale on a full ride. However, the catch is that while she attends school, she must use her not-so-well-hidden gifts to monitor the occult activities of Yale's secret societies, who tamper with forbidden magic to raise the dead and sometimes prey on the living.
One, her name is Galaxy and she goes by Alex.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Two, Yale Secret Society. Are we talking about the Life and Death Brigade or what?
So basically, yeah, I knew I was gonna have to explain this a little bit more.
Good old Gilmore Girls shout out.
I picked this because Alex's, like, it's a spoiler, but it's not really. You learn this within the first like 5 pages. Galaxy can see dead people.
Oh.
And can speak to them and interact with them, and they can like touch her or possess her. Yeah. And so at Yale, there's a series of all these different secret societies, which are kind of like frats, but they all do something different with the occult and the arcane magic, and like they all do different things. But the only thing all these secret societies have in common is that at some point, somebody from one of these secret societies developed some kind of a drug where if you take it temporarily, you can see dead people.
Shit.
And so all these secret societies use this drug to then like mess around with the occult and like go on the other side of the veil and mess with death and all of these things. And so the Yale, one of the secret societies, is called Lethe. Their job is to use this drug to then monitor what the secret societies are doing to make sure that nobody is messing with the occult too much. Whoa. Or like having a haunting or a possession or something like that happening. And so it's the job of Lethe when something goes wrong to like they go in and fix it. Kind of like exorcisms, that kind of a thing.
Need you to send me the title of this one again, because
that
is so cool.
Yeah, and so they find out that there's this young girl somewhere random who can see dead people naturally. And so they're like, hey, we'll rescue you from your life, but you need to work for us. Because
how are they going to rescue her?
Well,
how do you fix that?
Well, she like survived a multiple homicide, is homeless, doesn't have anywhere to be, no job.
I guess.
Like she's
I guess
nothing.
she can be rescued.
They're like, we're going to feed and clothe you and pay for your hospital bills if you'll come back to Yale with us, and you can go there full ride, but you need to work for us.
Wow.
And so the whole book is told through like the stories of these ghosts and Alex's like interactions with these ghosts and her whole job of like eradicating them and like making sure that everyone stays safe and there's no possessions or anything like that. But they aren't exactly the most successful, and there is like a murder mystery that ends up happening.
Cool.
So haunted places, ghosts, literally a lot of conjuring of ghosts,
Yeah.
The Conjuring. So that's like,
well, Team Goblin. Oof. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. You earned that point.
okay. Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should totally read Ninth House. It's gonna be, I think the author Leigh Bardugo, she had confirmed at some point that it's going to be a 5-book series.
Oh.
And the second one has come out. The first one is called Ninth House, and it's got like a snake on the cover. And then the second one is called Hellbent, and it's got like a just born baby rabbit on the cover.
Yeah, catch me looking these up after this.
Yeah, it's a really good book. Like trigger warnings, like content warnings, check them if you're gonna read this. But I feel like if you like The Conjuring, Ninth House is probably your thing.
Fair.
So yeah, it's not family specific, but there is a lot of haunting and a lot of possession.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's my book that I chose for if you like The Conjuring.
Very nice.
Yeah. Oh, look at me. Okay. Okay, the last movie we picked was Monster House.
Yes.
Which is an animated film about a group of kids who, is it like a local legend or something about this house?
No, so one of the kids, he lives across the street from this house, and they swear that the house like comes to life. Okay. Like every time they lose a ball to the front yard, they can't even step foot on the front yard without like the house shuddering. Okay, like this is a freaky house. And eventually they make their way into the house. And so things just progress from there.
Yeah, with this supposedly living house.
Yeah. And things get wild.
Things get wild, yeah.
Yeah.
So the book that I chose for if you like Monster House, or if that's one of your childhood classics and you want a little bit of nostalgia, I picked Welcome to Dead House by R.L. Stine.
Oh.
It's the first Goosebumps book, and it is about these two kids, Amanda and Josh. And I wrote, Amanda and Josh are excited to embark on a new adventure when their father inherits an old house in a town called Dark Falls. They're excited, that is, until they start to suspect that the house is alive with spirits who might just consume them, or worse, trap them for eternity.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so that one's like a middle grade book.
Fair.
Same age group, same vibes.
Yeah.
A living house, creepy things going on.
Yeah.
That was my like vibe. That was actually a recent read for me. I just decided one day that I wanted to read the Goosebumps books again.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
My book is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte.
Oh my god. This again. You do not get this one.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
I can tell you right now that you do not get this one.
I couldn't come up with anything else. My scary house books are set for the end of this month. And I was like, weird shit's happening. Beds are being lit on fire. There's figures standing over her in the night. Like, that's pretty freaky.
Yeah, but it's not about the house.
No. She thinks it could be, though.
Do we even need to give a description for Jane Eyre?
No, there's a whole episode on it. I'm just going to give you your point.
Just go listen to episode 6. Just give me my point. Yeah. I'm taking that.
Yeah. You earned it. You earned it.
Because that was a good one. Welcome to Dead House.
Yeah, that was really good. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my god, I cannot believe that. Well, now we're tied.
Yeah. This is completely accidental too. We did not share our books before this.
Yeah, we didn't. But I do want to have a tiebreaker because
Yeah?
we did also
Okay.
originally plan to do Gremlins too, and I feel like that was super
Fair.
quick because you said Jane Eyre and I said no.
Yeah. Fair. All right, tiebreaker. Gremlins.
Yeah, Gremlins. Gremlins is one of my runner-ups for my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Fun fact. I feel like you're learning a lot about me and what I like in film. I feel like Gremlins, The Terminator, Jaws, like those all on the same like sort of vibe. Anyways, Gremlins. I haven't seen Gremlins in forever. I feel like a lot of people will know what that is.
Last Halloween. It's like one of my regular spooky season rewatches.
Yeah. I gotta get on that. I keep forgetting it exists.
It's almost a Christmas movie.
Yeah, kinda.
Because he gets it for Christmas.
Yeah, because he gets a gremlin.
No, he gets a Yao Guai. It turns into a gremlin.
Right. Okay.
Get your facts straight.
Well, I literally just said I haven't seen it in years. Okay.
No exceptions. No excuses.
Okay. So, do you want to give a quick description of Gremlins then, since you're the expert on Gremlins there?
Well, that was kind of most of it. He gets a Yao Guai. It has
like a Furby looking thing.
Yeah, it's basically a Furby for trues, for reals.
Yeah, yeah.
And it
for
has
trues.
3 rules. It is don't get it wet, don't feed it after midnight, and
I thought it was 9:00. Don't feed it after 9:00.
I don't know. Don't feed it after a certain time.
Yeah, just don't.
And there's one more, but the feeding one is the most important because little Gizmo gets a chicken leg and gobbles it up. And actually, no, it was all the other ones. Gizmo multiplied, and then the other ones ate the chicken, and then they turned into gremlins, which are basically these tiny like gargoyles, but live, and they just cause havoc in this town. And it's like the middle of December. There's snow everywhere, but it's just like a classic tiny little monster movie.
Yeah. So, what book did you get for that?
I picked Hollow Kingdom by Kira Jane Buxton.
Okay.
And it's about a talking crow. It's from the crow's perspective during the apocalypse. And so
Okay.
Yeah. Furry little guys, little animals just like trying to survive. The furry guys are wreaking havoc. The animals are experiencing havoc. You get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
That was my entire thought process on that one.
Okay. All right. Mine, it doesn't. I have to explain myself. So I chose Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs.
I have read that one.
Yeah, which is about Jacob, who suffers a family tragedy and ends up like tracking some kind of a mystery and going to this small island in Wales where he comes across the ruins of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Except some stuff starts happening and he ends up going through, I think it's a time portal, to the real Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Back when it was up and functioning.
Yeah, back when it was functioning. And so it's just this basically an orphanage for all kinds of kids with different powers, abilities, things about them. Like there's one girl who can set stuff on fire. There's another one who like constantly levitates, and so she has to wear these weighted shoes. And like it's just like this like weird, spooky, quirky vibes in this orphanage. Except they're now all under attack by these like invisible creature things that are just absolutely tearing apart all the different time loops where these orphanages are and are trying to kill all of the peculiar children and all of their like caregivers. And so Jacob, he ends up like basically trying to help these peculiar children defeat these like monster guys who are like basically running through and destroying everything. That was my pick for Gremlins.
That I think that is our tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, yeah, you actually have Little Monsters in yours.
Oh, yeah. Little monsters. Well, they're not little.
Well, no, but you have monsters in yours.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you that one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was really good.
So I won.
You did win. Congratulations.
I
Round
did
of applause.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gosh, I would like to thank me.
Yeah. Good job.
Because that was pretty even though. I feel like you got all the horror ones.
Yeah. And somehow Halloween Town.
Yeah, and somehow Halloween Town. Because thematically, yours hit. That was correct. Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
that was a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah. I was expecting to get all the cozies, but you really surprised me.
Huh.
I didn't think I was going to get any of the spooky ones, like the horror movies.
Yeah.
But, I got The Conjuring, so.
There you go. That's good.
Which The Conjuring is my favorite horror movie, fun fact.
You did it proud.
Yeah. So, just a reminder, our movie list of like the classic, recommend that you watch them for the spooky season is Beetlejuice, Hocus Pocus, The Shining, The Woman in Black, Halloween Town, The Conjuring, Monster House, and Gremlins. So, we'll run through the corresponding books for the movies. So, if you like Beetlejuice, then I suggest you try The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket, or
I would suggest The Lies Among Us by Sarah Beth Durst.
Mm-hmm. And if you like Hocus Pocus, I would suggest Stardust by Neil Gaiman.
Or VenCo by Cherie Dimaline.
And for The Shining, I suggest A Cry in the Night by Mary Higgins Clark.
Or I would recommend Unmissing by Minka Kent.
And if you like The Woman in Black, then you should try reading The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix.
Or Hidden Pictures by Jason Recolak.
And if you like Halloween Town, then you might want to try Swamp Spook by Jana De Leon.
Or Halloween Town on Steroids via Vicious by V.E. Schwab.
For The Conjuring, I suggest Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo.
Or Grief Cottage by Gail Godwin.
And for Monster House, if you like that childhood nostalgia, I suggest Welcome to Dead House by R.L. Stine.
Or Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Looking at you, Grant. Told me he wasn't going to read it. I'll show him.
And finally, our tiebreaker, if you like Gremlins, I would suggest you try Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs.
Or Hollow Kingdom by Kira Jean Buxton.
That's
Yay.
great.
How fun.
Woo. So, yeah, we hope that you're all having a wonderful start to the spooky season and that you're getting time to relax, watch some spooky movies, get into the spooky vibes.
Read some spooky books. Participate in our spooky readathon. Tell us about it.
Please tell us about it. Yeah. Someone email me. I'm going to be screaming about that until someone actually does email me, okay? Because I want to hear from someone who listens to this podcast. Like, please.
Yeah. It'll probably be London.
I'm getting desperate over here. Like, so far the only emails I get are like administrative stuff, and that's boring. Or if you have any like requested reads for us, like anything that you want us
our DMs
to read,
are always open for those.
Or the email. You can email me.
Yeah, we have a list of requested reads, and as well as the handle or contact of whoever requested it, so that we can, make it known when we do it.
Give you a shout out, yeah.
Keep an eye out. It'll be a surprise.
Yeah, because we may or may not be starting a new thing that we're going to do on the pod for requested reads. So if you have your own spooky books as well.
Oh, yeah, we definitely want to hear it.
We do want to hear that. Or if you think that you have better picks for these movies, tell us.
Yeah, especially Gremlins, because that one was hard.
That one was hard. If you have any books that have Gremlins vibes, please tell me.
Yeah, we'll share it. So, yeah, and to tell us, you can do so on Instagram or Threads at Badly Annotated Pod, or you can email Hannah, pretty please, um, at badlyannotedpod@gmail.com. And if you are having trouble finding us, I don't know how you're listening to this now, but if you are still, you can find everywhere that we stream through the link in our Instagram bio. And with that, best wishes, kindest regards, happy spooky season.
Sincerely, Jess and Hannah.